Welcome back to the channel, and today we're talking WWE 2K19 and a superstar that won't be making the game, or at least it's highly unlikely that he won't, because yesterday WWE came to terms with the release of Big Cass. And this might not come as a shock to most, because Big Cass has been reported to being in the doghouse recently since his return from injury. But I didn't think the relationship between WWE and Big Cass had broken down to the point where he would be released. Now, Big Cass only returned to action recently, returning from an injury, and it did seem like WWE were invested in giving him a push. However, it was suspect that he would be put into a rivalry with Daniel Bryan, who's highly unlikely to pick up a loss at this moment in time, you know, particularly if he's going into a long-term feud, which it seemed would be the case with Big Cass. Now, Big Cass was made to tap out not once but twice, and shortly after he was released. So I wonder if that was WWE trying to rub some salt into the wound, you know, knowing that they were going to let him go, but also wanting to send him off with a bit of a sour taste in his mouth, because there had been rumour that he had done things that WWE were not happy with. For example, going over the top in segments when he was told not to do things and he did them anyway. So all of this has culminated into the fact that it's highly unlikely now that Big Cass will be in the next installment of WWE games and WWE 2K19. It feels like to me there's probably plenty of time for him to be removed. WWE games also tweeted out and confirmed the release, so I kind of expect that this has been rolled out to not have him in the next game. But what do you think about this situation that we've got? We've seen in the past when superstars have left abruptly, and particularly when they've left in circumstances which haven't been the best of circumstances, and we don't know all the details yet, but just the short and sweet statement on WWE's website kind of confirms that they're not really wishing Big Cass well. They're just saying, bye, we've had enough of you. So Big Cass, highly unlikely he joins his former tag team partner Enzo Amore outside of WWE. It'll be interesting to see where he goes, but do you think that Big Cass will still be in WWE 2K19? I don't think so. It could be the case that it might be too late, but I think there's enough time to pull him from the franchise, and I wouldn't be surprised. I'd expect WWE to have already informed 2K. We've seen that WWE games have been tweeting out the fact that he was released, so everything seems to be on the radar that he should not be included anymore. So I just wanted to get your views and opinions on this. My point of view is, obviously I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but I did think Big Cass was a big talent. I actually thought he was the giant of the future, and you've seen in my universe mode that I was positive on Big Cass as well. So for me it's kind of disappointing, and I also kind of feel for the guy a little bit, but not knowing what went on behind the scenes, you know, because the whole thing with Enzo kind of derailed him. He had to then overcome the injury, he's come back, and I think the persona, the gimmick that WWE gave him didn't quite suit his personality. I feel like he's a sort of guy that actions speak louder than words, but he was given a lot of mic work to do in this feud with Daniel Bryan. He was running his mouth quite a lot. He became rather cocky, rather arrogant. I'm not sure why he was given that style of gimmick. He kind of looked time to time uncomfortable with it. So all of that to me seemed like he was being pushed down a route that he may not enjoy going down, albeit you get a push, but ultimately you've got to sell it, and if you're not sold by it, then the WWE universe aren't going to be sold either. So I want to get your views in the comment section below. Let me know what you think with the details of Big Cass and his release. At the time, albeit that this wasn't a shock because we did know that he was in the doghouse, it was a surprise at the time of the release, because I was at the United Kingdom Championship tournament the second night last night when this came out, and Triple H is over here in the UK, Vince McMahon in the States, and all of a sudden, boom, right in the middle of the show, this detail breaks out. So it seemed like WWE didn't want to waste time in getting this out there and getting it done and dusted. A surprise. But let me know what you think. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter at Delzinski and on Instagram. And all that's left to be said is, will Big Cass be in WWE 2K19? I doubt it. This is Delzinski signing out.